problem happening in that department. I'm worried how a department can give a serious project to a contractor who is incompetent, and the short work is done to the department. We have able contractors in Makueni County who can work for the benefit of our people in an appropriate way. It means
you can't compete with members that you lead. Allow them to lead. You will overrule or strengthen. Member for Keward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I'll first start by appreciating and congratulating. As I'm saying, I will first congratulate the committee for a job well done. I am a member of that committee. I went to Dange as we visited and witnessed on how the works had been done. And as much as we want to cry that the department is not very keen on its works, let us be keen to not to confirm to the public that we are also not keen. because, Mr. Speaker, last month, that is January this year, I had a site handover in my ward. From the same department, we were to do some culverts in a road from in an area called Mwea. And the same date is the date that I was supposed to take my daughter to school, and I arrived at the scene of the site handover a bit late. The department had left. The only person I found on the ground was the contractor, the ward admin, and because I had seen what had happened in Tange, my first question was to the contractor what they had come to do. And I found out that they were coming to address two spots. And before then, I had taken an engineer from the department and a senior officer, I will not name him, to the ground before they did the BQ, for them to actually note what was supposed to be done. But they quoted something different, and we had to do away with that BQ. The works were the scopes were to be redone, and I think now they are doing, it is in the procurement. I didn't accept because if we oversight after the mess has been done, it will be very expensive for us as a county. It will be very expensive, especially to the elected members when they go back to the electorate. The electorate doesn't understand that we don't do the works. So once the works are poorly done, the electorate thinks that the MC has eaten the money. So let us be keen. Let us try to work for the people who brought us here, and let us push every department to do its works properly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Avenue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In quick, I want to support this motion. I have had a lot of members talk about the ineptness of the engineers, but I also want to say these jobs are also one day. There are contractors who are getting jobs with the county government simply because they know someone in the county or they just want to do business with the county, yet they are not established contractors. We need to get a contractor whose work is someone who thinks that they can do business with the county, and they become contractors at that very point, and you ask them, what is a Y8? And they cannot tell you what kind of a metal that is. You ask someone, what is the full meaning of BQ? And maybe they will tell you bull of Qatar or something. They don't know the full meaning, or that's a bill of quantity. Job, how will you not get shoddy jobs? So I tend to think that we need to be strict with the contractors who are sent to our wards to do business. This department looks like it's either, I don't know whether it's a curse or bewitched, someone bewitched it, because we get very good people. I've seen this with time. I don't know what really happens. We get good people, we now say, we clap our hands, we say, now things will be done. We hope that now our angel has come, our Messiah has come, but within a few months, they get more worse than the others. So I don't know what really befell this department, but we have a duty and a cause to deal with the department right from the top to the bottom for us to clean the mess in this department. Thank you.
Member for Cloud.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to be very brief. First, I want to appreciate what the committee has done for making an effort to go on the ground and see what has happened, Mr. Speaker. And out of their commitment, that's why we are able now to see what has happened. Mr. Speaker, the experience in Tanke, in terms of this report, also cuts across in all the other wards. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you hear members saying that the works are not done properly, it is very true. And according to this report, Mr. Speaker, it is very worrying. First, how can we have an engineer coming up with a BQ? And then, from the final, Mr. Speaker, is that when the engineer goes to the ground to have a supervision on the work, he's not able to understand what is happening and is not able to give a report. So one wonders, how was the BQ developed by such an engineer? And then when you go to the ground to see what is happening as an engineer, you are not able to tell the kind of work that is actually taking place. Mr. Speaker, it is terrible that when we have a budget for each project, and for this matter, because we are talking about the roads, one of the elements we have supervision fee, and that is actually taken by the engineers and a few officers in the department. Then one wonders, why would one go to the field and take an allowance that is not able to say what has really happened in terms of the work? So, Mr. Speaker, we as an assembly, on the floor of this house, it is very important that we can also make a very strong statement that we are not able to say the experience and the qualification of our engineers, they are actually up to the standard. So if that is now becomes the case, Mr. Speaker, then we need to sit down and have a formula on how to see what can be done. Point number two, Mr. Speaker, one worries, Mr. Speaker, when we say we have a site handover, that site handover, we have a community that is called by the ward admin, and then the public elects the PMC. After now the election of the PMC, one of the tools that the PMC they need to get on that particular day is actually the BQ. So one wonders, why do we go and elect a PMC, then they are left without the tool to monitor what is happening? So that is actually a question that, Mr. Speaker, we need to ask ourselves and see what can be done. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the report, and really what is happening in Tange, I can say it is also cutting across to the other ones. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader of the Minority Party.
Not yet. Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion. Honorable Speaker, I congratulate my former chair, Honorable Alex Mulemba, for a good job with his committee, and also Honorable Engineer Ndolo for the good support in that committee. Honorable Speaker, I want also to agree with them that there is a lot of issue with this department, which is man-made, Honorable Speaker, just because of the motivation to make more money. Honorable Speaker, it doesn't make any sense to allocate monies and you must follow up on those implementations, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we must also thank the people who thought it wise to have a government, then representatives of the people oversighting that government, Honorable Speaker. Because what would have happened, Honorable Speaker, if we would not have elected members of assemblies across the wards, Honorable Speaker, trying to see what is happening with the county government, Honorable Speaker. Implementers, normally, of course, Honorable Speaker, we have seen they will not implement to letter. and somebody else has to come in sometimes to help in making them make those decisions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we cry a lot, Honorable Speaker, because we have issues to do with the department having many issues, Honorable Speaker. When you look at the contractor, I have listened to all the speakers, Honorable Speaker, but I can also attribute some of these things to the contractor, Honorable Speaker, and the accounting officer. If you can be given a tender without tendering, Honorable Speaker, what will happen? This is the only way to go about it. You produce one of the worst results ever evidenced, Honorable Speaker, in this county. And I listened also when Engineer Ndolo was taking us through the standardization of these structures. I remember even in my place, sometimes the PMC, because they are interfacing between the community and the government, they are not supervisors. And I want to rectify what Honorable Mulemba said about PMC being trained to supervise. PMCs are not here to supervise the works. They are here to give a voice of the community and to interface between the community and the government, Honorable Speaker. Now, when you listen, you will find that the person who was given the job they said somewhere and said, we can just exhaust these monies by giving 20 culverts, for example, worth 600 millimeters, Honorable Speaker, each. This doesn't work because when the PMC is engaged, they will tell, and even the people who visit those areas, they will tell, this will not be enough for a 600 millimeter culvert. So we go to 900 millimeter culvert. And so sometimes they even do double, and then they remove, they balance those BQs, Honorable Speaker, through their minutes, Honorable Speaker. I have also listened to hear about how engineers, you are calling them engineers. They are not engineers, Honorable Speaker. Most of them are not engineers. They are landscapers. I remember last time I was explaining how they are landscapers, others are lab technologists, Honorable Speaker, and they have been given roles to play, and we call them engineers. They are not. I can tell you, the only engineer I know is Engineer Oscar. The others are not. Even Muruka is not an engineer. They are landscapers, Honorable Speaker. Sometimes they are using one eye. They close one eye and they look into the projects, Honorable Speaker. It is not possible. We have others who are not engineers by qualification, but the job training has helped them become engineers in quotes. I remember like the engineer for Kibwezi West is one of the best, Engineer James. He's not an engineer, but I can tell you he does a better job than even those engineers, Honorable Speaker. He's not a qualified engineer, but he has the qualification of the ground, Honorable Speaker. And you will never see any faulty job in Kibwezi West under the supervision of Engineer James, Honorable Speaker. Others should benchmark with what James is doing, James Chalo, Honorable Speaker. But some of them are lab technologists. I will not mention them here. Lab technologists are just people to mix the soil and tell you the content of the metallic components, Honorable Speaker. They are not authorized. They are not authorized, Honorable Speaker, to make those BQs. They are not authorized to interpret those BQs. But the department is well dependent on them while they have already corrupted the deals and the tenders within those departments, Honorable Speaker. We will not allow that. In my word, I will never allow that. And that is why in Kikubulu South, we will never allow that. And I want to congratulate the Honorable Member for Thank, who comes from our party, for standing very firm. Standing very firm, Honorable Speaker. I knew, and sometimes when you go to some functions, people will speak, then when the politician comes in, they want to limit the number of minutes we are supposed to hold.
Go ahead, Leader of
I
Minority.
remember, Honorable Speaker, many members spoke without a lot of interventions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was saying I want to congratulate the Honorable Member for Thank, the young man, Honorable Katumo, for coming out and standing very firm for the people of Thank. And if the people of Thank elected this young man while he was green, Honorable Speaker, in 2027, they should re-elect him with a big margin, Honorable Speaker. I want to congratulate him, and I will stand very firm for these people of Makueni And I am very sure nobody will stand with the corrupt deals in that department. I have also listened that we want to recover the monies. We need to put measures to ensure that nobody is paid before the works are approved, Honorable Speaker. Why should we enforce catching a flight when the flight is already gone, Honorable Speaker? It becomes very difficult. You will not even get the refund, Honorable Speaker. So it is good. This department, as the chairperson has indicated in this report, that they have given the minister 30 days to show a flow of events on what is happening, Honorable Speaker. He should also give the minister, the ECM, who is in charge of this department, to show how they are going to control this going forward, Honorable Speaker, so that the people of Makueni can get value for their money, Honorable Speaker. So I understand the contractor. The contractor is a public officer. He's a ward administrator in this county who did that job, Honorable Speaker. And he was a friend of the CEO. And he was given the job without even any simple qualification. No NCA qualification. It was given on the road, Honorable Speaker. I know the place where they issued those documents. It is along Beria, Honorable Speaker, just before Kisayani, between Siembeni and Kisayani, Honorable Speaker. That is where the contract was awarded. Honorable Speaker, it is very unfortunate. We need to have a working and functional government, Honorable Speaker, and we will support the governor. In fact, the governor is doing very well on this department, Honorable Speaker. You've seen the changes in this department, Honorable Speaker, and we want to support the government so that people of this county can realize what their aspirations are, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to support this report. And I want to challenge Honorable Mulemba to bring more reports so that people of Makueni can get value for their money. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Leader of the Majority Party. Honorable Elizabeth, your request to speak. We don't have time.
Thank you, Honorable. I support this motion. Honorable Speaker, I just very briefly want to tell members that it's our responsibility to oversight this government, and we should not shy away from that responsibility. Honorable Speaker, I think it's now high time we even start thinking of reverting some CEOs and some waziris, because some of them, it all depends. Whenever you approve, you can also disapprove. So, because, you know, when you don't do your job, whenever you approve, you can disapprove, my friend. So whenever you fail to do any job that you have been given, and the County Government Act is very clear on what they are supposed to do. So it's also a shame, in fact, to the freedom we have given them as an assembly to perform their duties. When a chair in this assembly is calling a chief officer for the last 2 months, and that chief officer has never picked his phone for 2 months, the chair. And you know, Honorable Speaker, I don't think it requires some science to know that that chair cannot be calling that particular chief officer on personal matters. It's about work. Because I know the two people, they don't bother each other, they don't even come from the same location.
But Leader of the Majority, what is the essence of talking to us in Proverbs? I mean, if you have facts, they have facts.
At the right time, I think, Honorable Speaker, I will report that to this House, Honorable Speaker, at the right time. But I'm just saying, it's like some of those people we vetted in this assembly have grown on. That's the simple logic I'm trying to bring to this House. So, Honorable Speaker, the performance of every ECM and every CEO should come back to this assembly, and the committees should know their powers. Because sometimes I would blame even the committees, because we sometimes feel how things are going bad, but we don't act on that. His Excellency the Governor is ready, and he has confided in me that if he receives any report from any committee or even from this house about a particular ECM or CEO, he will act on that. And he wants the people of Makueni to get the best from these ECMs and CEOs. So, honorable members, it's like we are failing, because if that particular CEO could not pick up the cause of a chair for 2 months, and the report is getting to us today, then the chair was so lenient. 2 months is such a long time. So, honorable members, let's pull up our socks, let's oversight these people, and let's be serious, very serious about checking on what they do. And if they are messing us or messing the county, let's do what is necessary, what is required of us by law, because it doesn't, we are not friends. We are just engaging each other because we work together for the people of Makueni. When I came from Boni, I didn't know that I'll work with an ECM from Kibwezi. But we are working together because we have been brought together by circumstances. So at the end of the day, what we want is service delivery, and that service must be delivered to the people of Makueni as per the Constitution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Move out the motion. Honorable members, the time is up. Chairperson, time is up. Resume your seat. Time is up. This question will be put on Monday at 2:30. It's 17:02 hours. The recommendations in this report, they are not just recommendations. And therefore, you do not want to give anyone a benefit that even the motion was approved and procedural. That's the point here. You get me? So will be moved. The chair next week. Under the motions, we will resume debate. The chair will respond to the motion, and the question will be put so that it's properly anchored. Honorable members, time now being 17:00 hours. Assembly stands adjourned until Monday, 17th of February, 2025 at 14:30 hours.